Good evening, folks. What's going on tonight? What's up, Satellite? What's up, Ms. Roy? Manic, Deep Thought, Loader High. Hi, everybody. Happy Saturday. I know how weird it is to be streaming on a Saturday. Thank you for making it at our normal time. I know I usually promise, or I know I did promise 10 p.m. tonight, but I'm tired. I'm worn out, but I really want to stream. I am in a good place for streaming, and thus I shall stream. I mean, it's the power hours, chat. I'm not forging my way through a land of shmups or facing down ghost pirates or anything like that. I'm talking about old video game, and it's not too hard to muster the energy for that. So thank you all for coming out earlier than unusual. Not sure how really to put that, but I have some good news. And Loader High has some good news for us. Thank you so much for subscribing for 69 months. That used to be the funny number. And at tier 3, I think this one is mandatory to announce. Oh yes. Oh yeah, we got to make a big deal out of that. The big 6ix9ine. What used to be everyone's favorite. That's okay. I think the other ones died off. So maybe we can get back to a hint of normalcy by enjoying 69 again. Yeah, I said that. Good evening, Ball of Work. He has no schedule, but he must stream. I like that. I like that. Good evening. Actually, I come bearing good news. I have quite good news for next week. Merely phasing down 90s graphic design and shovelware. That's all. No big deal. Yeah, I got noticed by... Yes, exactly, Naren. As soon as old people caught on to it, it was dead. It was done. It was in the ground. So, all right. So, guess what? I looked at my schedule for next week, and I believe that other than Sunday and Tuesday, I should be streaming every night next week. And Tuesday is a maybe, because Tuesday is another noon to 8 day like today. But all of my other days, I end early enough to stream at the normal time. So there's no stream tomorrow because we got plans tomorrow. We're doing... I need a break. I've got tomorrow off, and we've got family plans tomorrow. So, yeah, there'll be no stream tomorrow resulting from that. But I'll be streaming Monday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday next week. A friend of mine once told her boyfriend it used to ask for 68. That's a trap. I can tell you right now. That is not a good deal. Cheers, everybody. Do you want better? The bank I work for was offering CD rates at 3.67 APY for 6. Are you serious? Oh my god. I mean, I have to assume that's really close to the normal rates they charge. And they were just like, well, I'll go you one better. But yeah, if I'm lying, I'm dying. No, I believe you. I believe you. This is the kind of world we live in, frankly. So yeah. I'll remind y'all remind me to remind you periodically throughout the night about my schedule next week, because it is a favorable schedule for once. And I do believe on Monday we will start LeChuck's Revenge. I'd like to act even more a bit out of sorts. With me trying to do full playthroughs and whatnot. And in this particular case, actually follow up on a series almost immediately. Because I really enjoyed doing Secret of Monkey Island. So I figure let's just keep the momentum going, shall we? A related joke at per 77, which is like 69, but you get 8 more. I was out today. I exited the store and the truck parked next to mine literally had the vanity license plate Riz. Yes, you do. You know exactly what kind of person that is. And oh boy, it's hard to imagine something that'll age worse than that. Frankly. We've seen it before. The phrase truck. That's good. So yeah, I have been... Have mercy with my sleep cycle. I can't skip Monkey Island 2. I'm sorry, Bulwark, but I must strike while the iron is hot, and it is blazing right now. I'm really excited about next week. I am really, really excited to have actual streaming availability next week. So yeah, we're gonna hit the ground running on Monday. I will certainly try to stream on Tuesday if I'm feeling up to it. But yeah, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We're in it to win it, friends. Means I can probably do a variety night on Friday. We'll certainly do the power hours on Saturday. And I think I'll just devote the other nights to Monkey Island 2. Sounds good to me. If it sounds good to you. What else have I been doing? What have I been up to? I have been playing guest. Okay. Somebody settle this for me. Is it Gestalt or Gestalt? Because frankly, I've heard it both ways. But I've learned from myself that you can't really trust any one person's pronunciation of something. I can be honest about myself. I always say Gestalt. In German, it's Gestalt. I feel like Gestalt is right. I've always leaned in that direction. Oh my god, it's Endief. Endief alert, everybody. Aren't AI girlfriends contradictory since they are... Wow. I see you're keeping your database updated. Good evening, Endief. It's good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Google lady pronounces it that way. Well, if there's one source you can trust, it's AI voices. No, we'll go with Gestalt. I've been playing Gestalt, Steam and Cinder. It is good. It is good. It feels like it's rushing towards its ending, though. I know the reviews for Gestalt are that it is a solid Metroidvania that just kind of ends. And I feel that coming on. I feel it doesn't feel like a long game, and I can kind of see the short stop coming up ahead. So, but what there is of it is really good. It is beautiful. The sound design is solid. It plays really well. None of the powers are particularly crazy. And the upgrade tree is kind of less interesting than I hoped it would be. I'll have a lot more thoughts on it after I finish it. It seems like I might finish it pretty soon, possibly even this weekend. But yeah, it's been fun. It's been good to play a Metroidvania. I have had it in the back of my mind to stream a Metroidvania. I really should do Dawn of Sorrow. The first DS Castlevania game. But I am not presently set up with for DS emulation. And I would need to step out to do that, so. Man, you've been playing He Is Coming? Yeah, I saw that you've gotten really into that. That's cool. That's cool. Discovering some things that look like Equipment Sense art. Did you know, if you go into the compendium, I think you were there for that. If you go into the compendium, it'll actually show you what the actual equipment sets consist of. Like, it'll give you the name and hints towards what goes into it. But yeah, some of the item sets have like 5 or 6 entries, but only 2 or 3 of them are actually part of the equipment set. So, Might be kind of tricky to piece some of them together. But yeah. I don't know what I'm gonna do after Gestalt, because I beat Hellclock. I'm just kind of dinking around with endgame stuff in Hellclock. I don't know. We'll see. Always in the back. Every like every week or no, it shows you all the other ones too. It won't show you specifically what makes them, but it'll tell you the name. It'll tell you what like it'll give you the name, which will give you an indication what set of items go into it. Feel the same about Gestalt as I did 9 Years of Shadow. Yeah, this is fine. I get you, Justin Brett. I get you. Yeah, it's not amazing, but pretty good. Yeah. I'll have a lot more to say about it after I finish it. I don't want to give a full accounting of it just yet. I want it to show its whole hand before I do that. But yeah, it's good. I think it's good. It's been an enjoyable time. So I know yesterday Shadows was talking about more exploration focused Metroidvanias, which are a personal favorite of mine. I've played a lot of indie ones that kind of lean away from their combat and more into the platforming exploration. I really enjoy that. So it was a good topic to broach. Excuse me. Suffering from post-game depression for a month now. Open Steam, look at library for 10 minutes, kind of decide what to play, close Steam, repeat ad nauseum. I go through serious bouts of that from time to time. In more recent time, I've gotten better about listening to my moods. Because it's really my moods that are doing it. It's, you know, I'll look at my backlog and I'll be like, oh, I haven't played this RPG yet. Oh, I haven't played this adventure game yet. Oh, I really wanted to play this a while back. But I'm not actually in the mood for any of those things. And I've gotten better about identifying what mood I'm in and leaning into that. Like right now, I'm in honestly, excuse me. I don't know where this is coming from. I'm not sick. Don't start with that. Healthy as a horse. A healthy horse. I've been in like an action roguelike mood for a while. That's why I was playing stuff like Void's Vigil and Hellclock. Gestalt was just because I got it. And I had been thinking about my Metroidvanias, so I decided to give it a try. So healthy as a horse at the Glue Factory. Animal Well is a fantastic exploration puzzle-solving Metroidvania. I really would like to pick up Animal Well at some point. I don't know if I'll stream it when I do, but I would like to pick it up. I don't think Gestalt would have been a good stream game, frankly, for reasons I will expand upon when I finish it. Good evening, Zem. Oh, keep it to yourself. It's good to see you. Feel that I'm in the mood for much of late. It happens sometimes, yeah. And I also embrace that too. There are times when, for whatever reason, I don't feel like investing in starting up a new game. I'll spend my time on YouTube or a streaming service instead. Like that's just how it be. You know, I've also learned not to try and force things either. We might have talked about that the night was it the night I finished Monkey Island? And we were going through my least played, like the games that I had played but played the least amount of time. A number of those I had started, like I had booted them up with the intent to like get into them and just been like, I'm not in the mood for this. I tried to force it when it wasn't gonna work. So, and that just, well, it doesn't work. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. So yeah. Speaking of not working, I'm gonna get into the magazine because we've got, oh boy, chat, we're only like halfway through the N64 previews, so we gotta slog through this before we get to some actual contemporary things to play for the moment. Before that, quick schedule reminder: the not at all impossible pivot. I'm great at segues, chat. Let me tell you, I've never owned one, but I'm great at them. Schedule reminder. Next week, I plan to stream every day except Saturday and maybe Tuesday's a maybe. There's no stream tomorrow. Not because I never stream on Sunday, but because I already have plans. But my schedule is very open next week, at least in the late evenings. So I should be streaming every night except maybe Tuesday. Tuesday is a question mark because I do work until 8 that night. But I worked until 8 tonight, and here I am. So we'll see what happens. I plan on starting Monkey Island 2 LeChuck's Revenge on Monday. And we'll probably do that Monday, Tuesday if it happens, Wednesday, Thursday. Do some kind of Friday feature on Friday, and then return to the Power Hours on Saturday. So I hope y'all aren't feeling the loss too much by only doing the Power Hours once a week. But I feel like it's a bit safer this way, considering the how fluid my schedule is at the time. Seems like it's better to set expectations there. So, as much as I do love the Power Hours. But speaking of which, we have read through the preview of the Nintendo 64. I think they're still calling it the Ultra 64. Oh no, they're calling it the Nintendo 64 at this point. I think they're making a very gradual pivot there. Like, they didn't make a big deal about any kind of rebranding or anything. They just started referring to the N64. So now we're gonna talk about the games. The eagle-eyed and highly motivated among you might notice that I don't have requests enabled at the moment. There's two reasons for this. The primary reason is we are still a really long way from the actual release of the N64. And I just don't really feel right about like jumping into some of these games this far ahead. I mean, it certainly wouldn't hurt anything to do like 10 or 15 minutes of them. At the same time, though, I do prefer to get my playthroughs in once these games actually get proper features in the magazine. And we're seriously like 10 months away from that, at least, with Mario 64 and the rest of them. The other reason is, well, okay, there's actually three reasons. There's actually three reasons why I'm not doing N64 requests right now. Second reason is I can't. My lazy ass still doesn't have a controller for my system. That will be resolved in the near future, one way or another. But yeah, I just haven't picked up a controller for it yet. So long, redacted bro. We know what he really means. It's Lodrai, it is not your fault. This is on me. There's really nothing stopping me from going out and getting one. If I really wanted to push ahead with this, I am just dragging my feet on this. The third reason, which doesn't affect Mario 64, but it will affect the subsequent games in this preview. I don't have a flash card for this thing. Now, I can and will have a controller in the near future. We will be playing N64 games in the near future. However, it's gonna be a while before I have a flash cart for this system because they are expensive. And I'm not in the best position to shell out money on expensive things at the moment. So for the foreseeable future, we are going to be limited. Oh, is Twitch being twitchy again? Seriously? I don't know what is up with Twitch these days. It was so reliable for a while, and then, like, it started... I don't know. I feel like it started throttling me for some reason. Hopefully you can hear me complaining. Might have cleared up, don't want to jinx it. I mean, we'll see. I'm gonna carry on. If you need me to repeat anything, just say it. You jinx it. We'll soldier on as best we can. I mean, lately this has been, you blame the ads. I blame the ads too. I always blame the ads. Ads are a pox upon our existence. But yeah, we'll just carry on. It should clear up momentarily. So yeah, I don't have flashcards. So for the foreseeable future, we are going to be limited to the library of N64 games that were so generously donated to me by our friend Cold Rolled Steel. And you know, once we actually get going with playing N64 stuff, and specifically Ocarina of Time, yes, I know, I haven't forgotten. I'll never forget. I'll make sure y'all are aware of what I have in the library and what we can actually do. Freezing for a second too, I'm probably getting behind, but it's listenable. Okay. Yeah, lately, yeah, that's why I think, like, just something is up with Twitch. Because it wouldn't make any sense. If there was some problem with my internet here, it would be off and on all night. But with Twitch, it's always, like, lately, it's been, like, at some point during the stream, things get shitty for, like, 5 or 10 minutes, and then everything goes back to normal. So, I'm 99% sure that's not me. Because that just wouldn't make any sense. So. Well, those of you that have actually caught up to the stream can watch me disrobe. Loaded high with happy face. Okay. So yeah, anyway, long story short, we're not getting into N64 games yet. We will soon. Question mark. Sometime in the near future, the very near future, we will get into N64 games with Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. It's always Twitch. It's always Twitch. Solar farts. I like that. If that's the reason, I'm not mad. I'm cool with that. So. So yeah. Anyway, let's get to it. Weirdly, it's like early in the stream. No idea. Yeah, I don't know. I think, yeah, I think something is up with Twitch. Because it used to be, I have enhanced broadcasting, or I forget what it's called, enabled, but it allows for me to upload multiple stream qualities for folks if they want to watch in like 360 or 720, or I think I upload in 1080. I don't remember. And I did that for ages, and then like a couple months ago, like Twitch fucked it up. It was sucking more bandwidth than it should have. So I had to reconfigure it manually, and things were fine for a while, but personally, I think whatever started then on Twitch's side has just been persisting and making things. It looks like everything is cool now, so if you are hearing my words, I would suggest refreshing the stream to catch back up to where we are. I think it's stable now. I can see a little bit of what's going on my end, but yeah. I'll just kind of mill around a bit, like I tend to do on the power hours. I'll just sit here and contemplate the void while everybody catches up to where we are. Because I don't want you to miss a thing, chat. These are precious moments we have. Let me do this, so that way I have a better idea of what's going on. Refresh, pause, and... Oh, does pause and unpause work better? Okay. Well, that's news to me. I should watch more streams, frankly. If I had time, I would. In progress and shitification. All right, I think we're all caught up. I think we're all up to the minute now. Let's talk about Super Mario 64. Checkpoint vibes. What the hell? Time for a raid. Good timing, buddy. We are just getting into this, like right now. Vibes secured. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you're doing well tonight. It's good to see you. Welcome on in, Raiders. Remake of Yakuza Kiwami 3 will come out with about a dozen Sega Game Gear games and 3 incredibly obscure. That's really cool. That is really, really cool. Imagine if someone you knew, like a streamer that you occasionally enjoyed watching, actually stream the Yakuza games. Wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that be a neat thing? All right, years from now, gamers will look back at Super Mario 64 as one of the games that defines a new era of gaming. We talked about this last time, and y'all convinced me that Nintendo Power is actually correct on this point. And upon reflection, I am willing to agree. I have, over the last couple of years that we've been doing the Power Hours, I've built something of a natural resistance, a natural skepticism to Nintendo Power's bloviations. But, as Satellite Sun says, broken clock. It is possible for a broken clock to be right twice a day, and this seems to be one of those times. It turns out that, yes, Super Mario 64 was a landmark in gaming history. It did help launch an entirely new genre of games, the 3D platformer. It was not the first. It absolutely was not the first. I wouldn't even say it's the best, but it represented a sea change in the market. You're doing Dave the Diver in Final Fight 2. Wow, that's an interesting combination. Nice. How do you like Dave the Diver, Checkpoint Vibes? I have been told I should get into that game at some point. Unless it's digital clock, this is busted. This is the giant leap in game evolution that Nintendo's promised for the Nintendo 64. The reason why people want to buy a new video game system. Again, show me the lie. I mean, this was why I got a Nintendo 64. I wanted to play Mario 64. They promised, and frankly, they delivered. Dave the Diver is pretty good. It's pretty chill, and you like it so far. Nice. I have to mention this, because if I don't mention this, it's likely someone else in chat will. I used to work for Nexon, and I worked in their localization department, and we almost got to work on Dave the Diver, and unfortunately, we didn't. And that was always a sore spot for us. We really, really, really wanted to work on that game, and it was very unfortunate that we didn't get the chance, because I have heard that one of Dave the Diver's weak points is his localization. We're also in the wild west of 3D platformers. We won't solve a lot of the problems behind the genre for a few years of figuring things out. Also a good point. Also a very good point. Yeah, Mario 64. I think Mario 64 deserves a lot of credit for doing as well as it did at the very inception of the genre. Like, third-person cameras are just... I mean, they seem like a nightmare for developers. They seem like one of the hardest things for developers to get right. Because there's so many ways to handle it, you know? First-person games are almost like cheating, because you know where the camera is at all times. You don't have to worry about that. You build your game around that expectation. Same with top-down, side-scrollers, all of that. But a third-person game, all of a sudden, you have this entirely new entity that other games don't have to worry about, and that is a free-moving camera. At every single moment during your game, you have to be asking, where is the camera? And is it pointing the right direction? Is it pointing in the most useful direction? And in these early games, a lot of the time, the answer is no. Super Mario 64, I think, deserves a lot of credit for handling his camera as well as it does. There are a lot of fixed camera angles in this game, and they're, for the most part, very well thought out. We'll play through Mario 64 at some point. I've made a habit of playing through all the Mario games so far. And we'll definitely do 64, because I love 64. And we'll certainly call out the bad camera angles. There are a few notorious ones. But in general, like, 2 thumbs up. Like, way better than I would expect a game this early in its genre's inception. PS1 Telltale wigglers do the verses. Polygon only understanding whole integer points of space for the N64 had fractional processing. Peak graphics, all been downhill since we lost the wiggle. Was Dave the Diver not an English native game? It was not, no. It was not. It was translated from Korean. Really cool and stupid reason why PS1 games look the way they did. It's one of those crazy, like, technological, I don't know if it's a limitation or oversight, but it's one of those things that lent a truly unique aesthetic that people actually work to recapture now. And I think that's really cool. We just got another frog theme platformer on Steam. I'd argue that Mario 64 handles his camera better than Sunshine. I would agree. I'm a little biased. I don't particularly like Mario Sunshine. I've never really been a fan of that one, which is weird for me to say. Like, Mario games are almost universally, like, huge success for me. Mario Sunshine is a really weird outlier where I just don't like it. I've tried multiple times. And I honestly don't think I'll ever get through that game. We'll look at that one too on stream. I'm trying to remember if I actually streamed it or not. I know I have the Mario 3D collection on Switch. And I've beaten Mario 64 and I've beaten Galaxy and I've tried with Sunshine. I don't even know how far I've gotten into it. I put several hours into it, but yeah, I just it doesn't feel right. Something about that game doesn't feel right. Love Sekiro. Sometimes the camera is like, what the fuck are you doing? Camera isn't bad considering it's a bit too close in for your taste on a lot of large vertical levels. Yeah, we'll criticize it heartily. Because it does, again, as far as I'm concerned, it stands up to scrutiny. But yeah, it's by no means perfect. Also handles you can't die by clipping through the floor better than Sunshine. Sunshine is an interesting game. I mean, yeah, like, it really is remarkable to me because I can't think of another Mario game where I'm just kind of like, nope. Some of the remakes I'm not real keen on, like some of the GBA and DS remakes, the DS remake pseudo sequel, whatever it is, to Yoshi's Island, I'm not a big fan of. But like the individual Mario games, I think Sunshine might be the only one I genuinely don't like. All the other ones I played, 64, New Super Mario Brothers, New Super Mario Brothers U, Galaxy, Odyssey, Wonder. I love all of them. I don't mean to harp on this, honestly. It's so strange to me. Like, I go into Mario is okay, yeah. Thumbs down on Mario is missing. But in general, like, I can go into a Mario game knowing that I'm gonna have a great time, that I'm gonna get sucked in, that I'm gonna play all the way through it, I'm gonna work all the secrets out of it, and I'm gonna have a great time doing it. And that is true for like every mainline Mario game except Sunshine. Big Hops, that's the frog game I was thinking of. Already looks better than Ukulele or Replay. Have you ever played Hotel Mario? I have not. I'm not sure what you're referring to, in fact. Is that a ROM hack, or is that another one of these like Mario is missing, or like licensee games or something? Oh, all right. Stand by, chat. I'm delving into Wikipedia for a second. 1994 puzzle video game developed by fan CDI. Ah. Player controls Mario must find Princess Toadstool by going through 7 hotels in the Mushroom Kingdom? Why is she? The objective is to close all the doors on each stage. Huh. That's weird. Someday, chat, I will get to those CDI games. Not sure when, not sure where. Someday. What's up, Hildy? I read social media too long today. I'm a live wire for your safety. Thank you. If you want to talk about video games, you are welcome to. I think I'm a little too burnt out for current events, frankly. I know I've only worked 4 full days in a row, but I was done after today, man. I was exhausted. I am tired right now, but the power hours give me strength. Grocery stores in political times, nonsense, and you're in a boot. Yes, yeah. Things are happening at our store too. I imagine I shouldn't go into detail. I probably shouldn't talk about working for another Amazon company while streaming on an Amazon company. So I'll just keep that one in my pocket for now. Near a grocery store. Yeah, I work for Amazon Fresh. As it happens. My entire life is just Amazon now. Like, I have never... Alright, quick aside. Nothing about current events. No bad vibes or anything. I'm just... Hildy! I had to go into the freezer yesterday to get something. I was looking for something for another associate. And we had to go in the freezer. And I instinctively, like, put my hoodie up. And she was like, oh yeah, no hair problems, right? And I was like... Oh, I would never miss Roy. I would never. Actually, I really like this job. To be completely honest. I do really enjoy this job. But I do need to mention that, like, we order stuff from Amazon. I work for Amazon. I stream on Amazon. I get my groceries from Amazon because that's really convenient now. I have never felt so much a part of a, like, dystopian future as I do right now. Like, my life has been subsumed by the mega corporation. That's just, yeah, like, the only thing left to do is get paid in company script, and I'm there. Like, that's just it. Like, this is Snow Crash without all the cool cyberspace shit. Yeah, literally, welcome to the company store. So, that's all I'll say. Aside from the creeping existential dread, great place to work, honestly. I'm really, really enjoying it. And as hopefully that anecdote indicated, my coworkers are a lot of fun. I feel like we're all living some Supreme Being's incredibly bad run of Stellaris. This actually... Okay, another quick aside. The state of our world, and specifically the United States right now, reminds me of when we were streaming Stellaris as our phallic empire, and we were like... We were going down like the psionics tree, and like we had created like an immortal supreme leader, and then we made contact with one of the ancient empires and offended them so badly that they beelined straight to our homeworld, beamed down to our imperial palace, and executed our emperor on the spot. I hope y'all remember that, because that was hilarious, and I kind of feel like we're living through the shades of what leads up to that right now. There's movies in the altars, and one of them is the history of the world, super future world, and they say the world started as a thought in a celestial being's mind. In the end, one being turns the other. You're right, Dan, or just a thought? No, Zem, this seriously happened. I don't remember what episode. I know, right, Ms. Roy? I don't remember what episode it was, but I swear, right hand to God, we made contact with one of the ancient empires, and it was a particularly militant one, if I remember correctly. And I was just kind of doing my thing. And they contacted us, and they were like, you need to learn your place. You back off, or we're gonna show you where your place is. And I was like, what are they gonna do? It's fine. So I fucked around, and oh boy, did I find out. There was an event where they just showed up at our homeworld and executed our supreme leader. Like, his ass was dead. And we got like a massive morale penalty across the empire. We had to scramble to get somebody to fill that role. It was a mess. But yeah, that was highly unexpected and absolutely hilarious. We deserved it too. The central crux of the video is the child alien gets ego disease and wants to live stream about human culture. Stream that video felt a bit... I bet it did, Hildy. I bet it did. Brought down the mood a little bit, huh? If only we had Kang or Kodos to help us out. Anyway, we can't just reminisce about Stellaris. We gotta talk about Mario 64, chat. Otherwise, we're not gonna get anywhere tonight. This bitch. And take credit for everything, frankly. So what sort of game is Super Mario 64? It can't be defined in terms of previous games, but has elements taken from throughout the rich history of video games. It is a freeform 3D adventure with power-ups, real-time fighting, brain teasers and mazes, exploration and story elements, plus a wonderful mix of play modes and bonuses, which is all you expect from a Mario game and then some. All right, I mean, keep count here, track. Keep count here, chat. Keep track here, chat. There's still... Nintendo Power is still shooting straight with us. This is all true. Wrap it in the finest 3D graphics ever seen for a video game. I don't know about that. I don't... You know what? I'm just gonna say no, honestly. PC gaming had already moved into the 3D space at this point. And I know one of the reasons I end up leaning away from the N64 is PC games look better. They just did. At least on console, yeah. If you want to limit it to console systems, probably. I don't remember what was out on PlayStation. At this point, and I feel like stuff like Vagrant Story was probably still a couple years away. Like, developers developers certainly hadn't mastered the PS1 rendering system yet. Once they did, they were absolutely making games that look better than this. But keep track, you chat. Skip the whole N64 on PS1, Sega PS1. I skipped the PS1, if you can believe that. I skipped over the PS1, got a PS2 a couple years after it came out, and then used that as an excuse to go back and pick up the PS1 games I missed. Have you heard of Blippo Plus? Nope. I have no idea what that is. Is it like a Wuppo? Is it like a Bleem? Is it like a Glup Shitto? Because I like all of those things. Skip the ladder out PS2 when PS3 came to the end of PS4 and hit PS5 hard. Okay. Nice, nice. Yeah, I guess I've never really been a PlayStation guy. I was big on the PS2. I was really, really big on the PS2, mainly for Final Fantasies. I certainly played... I ended up playing 7 and 8 on PC, but I played 9 and Tactics and 10 on when I finally got a PS2. That was the main draw, but I found a lot of other cool stuff on PS2. Guilty Gear, Devil May Cry, all kinds of stuff. Never a PC that can play games on. Now I'll never go back. Yeah. Best way I can explain is imagine we start receiving cable TV transmissions from a world very, very far away, similar to ours, decidedly off. Probably game is not entirely for us. That sounds cool. I stand on PS1 after being raised on Amiga and PC, and the PS1 remains my only console this day. Wow, ball of work. That's interesting. That is interesting. I guess that makes sense though. If most of your PC gaming up to that, if most of your gaming up to that point was PC, it would make sense you would go back after that. See, I grew up, I've always gone back and forth. My father had a Commodore. I'm gonna go through this again. I know a bunch of you in chat are probably tired of hearing this, but I'm gonna go through my gaming history once more. My father had a Commodore 64 when I was born. So my first experience with video games was technically PC gaming, even though Commodore 64 wasn't really a PC. When I was in elementary school, I got an NES and a Game Boy and a Super NES and an N64. But around the time we got the N64, we got a more modern PC, and I shifted over to playing PC games on that. And I was a big PC gamer. I left console gaming behind, and I was a PC gamer all the way until college. In college, I got a GBA SP and a PS2 and a Dreamcast. So it was mainly me playing catch-up, not so much with the GBA. Well, kind of with the GBA, because it was the second generation of GBAs. But yeah, with the PS2 and the Dreamcast, I bought the Dreamcast after it was announced it was dying and the price dropped to $99. And I got a PS2. I got a PS2 a couple years after it came out. I want to say 2 or 3 years. Yeah, and then I caught up on PS1 gaming after that. And then post-college, I went back to PC gaming. Actually, in college, I eventually focused back on PC gaming. I was big on PC gaming when I was living in Japan, but I also, while I was in Japan, picked up a Wii and an Xbox 360. And that got me really into Wii games and Xbox Live Arcade games. And then when I returned to the States, I got another 360. I bounced between the 360 and PC games. Eventually shifted back towards PC games until I started streaming. And then as a streamer, I am all over the place. As a streamer, I follow the dictates of chat, and I touch upon everything that is willing to be touched upon. So yeah. I have a Switch. We actually have 2 Switches in this house. I don't play Switch very often. Yeah, I have a PS3 that I bought for playing PS3 games on stream. I have a PS4 that was very generously donated by one of our viewers so I can play Bloodborne. I actually have an Xbox One. I have an Xbone that I've never used. What the hell was that? Hopefully that was part of the music. Don't see any notifications. Yeah. Get Dark Cloud. Oh, we'll do Dark Cloud sometime. Don't worry. Don't worry. Was it for Kingdom Hearts 2? That's why I had one. No, I am not a Kingdom Hearts fan. We may just as a historical footnote, we may try to play the original Kingdom Hearts at some point. I am not a Kingdom Hearts fan. I do not like it. I gave it a try. I got most of the way through Kingdom Hearts 1. I never finished it, and I don't really intend to. I got the PS2 for Final Fantasy X and other things. I got a PS2 just like spur of the moment. I remember I had a friend in college who was just like gobsmacked by this. I just decided one day. Like I had been a straight PC gamer the whole time. And I reached a point where I was like, the PS2 has enough games on it that I want to play. I want a PS2. So I called up my friend. I was like, hey, you want to go to the mall? And she was like, yeah, why? I was like, I'm gonna buy a PS2. I was like, oh shit, okay. So we went to the mall. I bought, let me see if I can remember this correctly. I bought a PS2. I bought 3 games for it initially. And I'm trying to remember which ones they were. I bought DDR 4th Mix. Oh, I remember. I bought DDR 4th Mix. I bought Guilty Gear X. And I bought GTA 3. Those were my first 3 PS2 games. Were you good at DDR? I'm trying to remember the ranking system. I want to say, oh, I was good. I'm trying to give you an accurate representation of how good I was. I want to say that I eventually S-ranked every song in 4th Mix. I think. I don't remember exactly, and I don't... Yeah. Max 300 was the last one I did, because that one was hard as fuck. For obvious reasons. You won a tournament at SDCC dressed as Rocket League? That's awesome. That's so cool. Dynamite Rave was your first 9-foot? Dynamite Rave was great. Can't fucking S-rank, man. You took my weights off! Hildy, you're the best. I love that. Oh, I have so much respect for that. I shouldn't, but I do. I used to... Yeah, this is something we haven't talked about very much, Chad. I used to be really into rhythm games. I didn't play a ton of them, but I would get one and I would get obsessed with it. Like, more obsessed with it than I tend to get with other games. DDR 4th Mix was one of them. Maybe the first one? Because, yeah, I was just totally absorbed in that. Until I S-ranked everything. I got really... When I was living in Japan, I got super into the Ouendan games. And I'm trying to remember. I beat everything in the first Ouendan game except the final level on cheerleader mode. I could never do that one. My roommate could. It pissed me the fuck off. But I could never beat that one. I got Rhythm Tengoku, and I loved that game. I played the shit out of Rhythm Tengoku. Why are we the same person as getting uncomfortable if you follow me around? If I did, would I admit it? It's the most insane version of paranoia. I couldn't tell you. Cause see, that's the thing. Fourth Mix was really the only version of DDR that I played. After that, I never, like, I never played another one, really. I would occasionally, like, if I went to an arcade and they had one, I would occasionally dink around with it. Oh, Taiko no Tatsujin. I played that a little bit. I haven't played enough to be good. My roommate, when I was living in Japan, played enough of that to get good. He was fucking crazy. He would go to the game centers in Japan and throw a couple coins in there and just start doing the hardest songs. And like wouldn't even break a sweat. And like he actually attracted a crowd a couple times. Cause they were like, how the fuck is this white boy doing this? Good S-rank Sakura with some freestyling, nice. Poppin' music addiction 15 to 20 years ago, my current archaea addiction. Love playing Metal Hellsinger and all. Bought Hi-Fi Rush in the last Steam sale. Maybe starting that might get back into actually playing shit. Yeah, I haven't been obsessed with a rhythm game in a long time. I am picky about them. It's not just any rhythm game. DDR did unlock rhythm games for me. Next was Guitar. I have played Guitar Man. I've beaten normal on Guitar Man. I can't be master. I think I got stuck on Mojo King B on master in Guitar Man. Always in the arcade, you can get a crowd and go, yeah, I'm dope, and then walk away. Guitar. I used to get a crowd in arcades as the only guy doing 9-footers that cling to a bar. Oh yeah, I always hated the people that clung to the bars. Maybe uncharitable of me, but I always thought that was some weak shit. Also, good evening, $10. It's good to see you. And also good to see we're on the same page here. How did you do in Necrodancer? I suck at Necrodancer. My problem is I cannot make decisions at the pace that I play rhythm games. And that's the thing about Necrodancer, is you need to be Necrodancer isn't a rhythm game. It's a timed roguelike. And I'm good at rhythm games, and I'm bad at timed roguelikes, as it turns out. Because you need to be making intelligent decisions in Necrodancer on the beat, and I can't do that. I can vibe on the beat. I can stay on the beat, but I will get my ass killed in Necrodancer on the beat. Reason we're all here, retired DDR Heroes Unite. Rhythm-based beat-em-up called Dead is Disco. I might want to check that out. I did get to do the same thing like that in China when some sort of Par ripoff, because rhythm games are easier for me. They're like, that's awesome. Explaining the mechanics pretty well. I can't deal with it. Yeah, Necrodancer is genius. Necrodancer is a brilliant, brilliant game, but oh my god, unless you are incredibly quick-witted, that game is hard as balls. Like it's so funny because I am good at rhythm games and I am good at roguelikes. I am not good at rhythm roguelikes. Because in roguelikes, I take a long time to think about things, and in rhythm games, I just vibe. And you cannot play Necrodancer like that. Decent enough in Necrodancer that I can survive until the third character. We had to play perfect and couldn't do it. Yeah, Necrodancer... My biggest problem in Necrodancer, honestly, is I never got the beat for the second area. Like, I could do the first area fine. And then I would suffer so much attrition in the second area because the beat just didn't make sense to me. The few times I made it to the third area, I was good at playing the third area, but I had taken so much damage and lost so many resources in the second area from being off beat that I just couldn't make it. Get decent ways to do Necrodancer, never beaten it. Can reliably get to the 4th area and do well there. That's impressive. Got pretty good at Necrodancer with the first character or two. The later ones are nasty. Remember, I do remember Elite Beat Agents. Funny enough, I never played it. I played a Wendon 1 and 2. By the time I was done with a Wendon 2, I was kind of ready to move on to other things. But me playing a Wendon got my roommate into a Wendon. And then he picked up Elite Beat Agents and got really into that one. So, and I just never did. Someday it'd be fun to go back to it. Up to the second major boss with Act 2 on the second difficulty in Hell Clock, which is pretty good. Nice. Yeah, I gotta admit, I wasn't so interested in the progressive difficulty in Hell Clock, but I really like Ascension mode. I am on... Honestly, the next time I play Hell Clock, I will probably beat the final boss in Ascension mode. Ruthless Snake Murder. Oh, you've been playing Green Hell. Never been lesbian. Hildy, you and Eva have the same nameplate color right now, so I got a little confused there. It's like, there are snakes in Hell Clock? But yeah. Alright. Well, now that we've indulged in one kind of nostalgia, let's go back to the other one. Let's see if we can at least finish talking about Super Mario 64 tonight, so that I can say we accomplished something. I mean, understand, we don't necessarily have to accomplish anything on Power Hours nights. These are no, we can't. All right, Manic called it. Sorry, chat. Zemstar with tea and burritos. Talk about much better. Can we turn to single page? Did you no? You just got here. You haven't missed anything. You ain't missed a goddamn thing. We started on this page. We'll probably end on this page. I have read through, let's see. I started here. I got this far. Rapid and the finest 3D graphics ever. We are well over an hour into the stream. We're well over an hour into our 3-hour stream, and I have not finished reading the first paragraph of the first page that we are on. The Power Hours, everybody. And I apologize for nothing. Nothing. This is how we be. This is how it is. And, yes, and I've accomplished this without request being on. We haven't read anything. We haven't played anything. Yeah, I've had to disabuse your request because I still can't do N64 games right now for a litany of reasons. Mainly my own laziness. Dictators everywhere. Oh, Hildy, you wound me. Ah, cuts to the quick. Alright, chat. So much for the glowing tribute. What you really want to know is, what's it like, what's in it, what makes it different? Okay. In a word, Super Mario 64 is fun. You get to do things with a character you've never done before. For instance, you can hide behind things. In one area filled with booze, Mario can jump up into a tree, rattling the branches as he lands and hide. You can circle around objects looking at them from different sides, and since this is a Mario game, you may discover that many things are not what they seem. A hill is an entrance to another world, a stone is a ladder to another level. As in previous Mario games, players will have to explore the 30 to 40 stages using their imaginations. LOL! There's like, what, 15 worlds in Mario 64? But, I mean, if you want to count the little bonus areas and stuff, you might start to approach 30, I guess. Indeed, why Fallout Shelter will put me on their show and I'll win lots of money. The other Marios aren't fun, but 64 is, and that's why it's different. Okay. It's a little weird, almost unseemly to me to agree so fervently with Nintendo Power, but I blame you for this, chat, mainly. But we do need to talk about this. Mario 64 is actually a very, very special Mario. I love Mario games. Y'all know this. Y'all have seen me burble and percolate over them as we've worked our way this way. But Mario 64 is unique in how it really does... It is, isn't it, Hildy? It is unique in how immersive it is. And while I wasn't the biggest N64 fan, and while I did end up gravitating away from the Nintendo 64 back to PC gaming, Mario 64 was a very unique game to me because even after I beat it, even after I got all 121 stars in it, I would still load it up and run around in it. Just because it so effectively felt like being in Mario's world in a way that Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers 2, Super Mario Brothers 3, Super Mario World, Yoshi's Island, none of those games felt that way. But Mario 64 felt like being there. It felt like being a part of Mario's world. And the stuff that they're talking about here, the simple things like jumping up in the trees and hanging on them, circling around objects, hiding behind things. All the ways that Mario interacts with things in Mario 64 lends it this sense of being extremely immersive. And I really, 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 really do want to give this game credit for that, you know? It was the first Mario game where I was satisfied to load it up and just hang out in it. It's one of the few, in fact, it's one of the few games ever where I've been satisfied doing that. You know? If I load up Mario 3 or Yoshi's Island, I do it to complete things. I do it to beat levels and make progress and stuff. But with Mario 64, I don't have to do that. Just existing in the world of Mario 64 is enough for me. And frankly, I think that's a very special thing. You know? I think it's a much more common thing now in the era of Minecraft and Fortnite. And the reason I bring those up is because, I mean, Minecraft is essentially an entirely open-ended game. Fortnite isn't, but I do think the main appeal of modern Fortnite is just hanging out and vibing in it rather than focusing on the competition aspect. And I think that's inspired a lot of the current like multiplayer survival sims and building sims and farming sims and stuff, where developers are trying to make games that are less about having a list of goals to tick off and more about having a space to chill in, a space to exist in. Yes, GTA 3. I did the same thing in GTA 3, yes. The PS2 Grand Theft Autos were great for that as well. I imagine the subsequent Grand Theft Autos were good for that as well, but PlayStation 2 ones were the last ones that I played. But yeah, Super Mario 64 was absolutely ahead of its time in that sense. It was a surprisingly good game to just hang out and vibe in. I know that's not gonna work for everybody. I know everybody didn't play it that way. But for me, for somebody who doesn't tend to do that in games, who tends to approach games with an objective in mind, naturally coming to that conclusion in Mario 64 was something special. It's something that stuck with me my entire life. Got 100 extra hours out of the game trying to explore all those bullshit Plays Luigi rumors. I got a lot of mileage out of that too. I won't deny that I spent some time hanging out around the fountain in the courtyard and exploring every vertex of the castle roof, trying to figure that shit out. But yeah. Chaos, thank you so much for the 275 stream streak. My God, on the Mario 64 page, and there's a mention of Minecraft. What a wild, yeah. We're in rare form tonight, surely. All right, Zem, thanks for coming out. Thanks for tolerating my bloviating for an hour plus. Hope you have a good one. Hopefully we'll see you on Monday. reminder to everybody coming in or going out right now. My schedule is actually pretty good next week. I will definitely be streaming Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 5 guaranteed streams, chat. Unless shit goes wrong and I'm really tired one of those nights. Bloviating is not a thing. And I would also like to stream on Tuesday. It may be a late stream, or we'll see. I'm gonna do my best, but we may actually have a full week next week, and I'm gonna make the most of it. We're gonna start Monkey Island 2: LeChuck's Revenge on Monday. I'm gonna keep the Monkey Island rolling while I can. I'm gonna hang around and lurk until I get some sleep. You too, Ball of Work. Have a great weekend. No word is a word. You're right. It's a morpheme. Actually, I'm gonna look this up. I mean, Oxford says it's informal US English. Talk at length, especially in an inflated or empty way. Morpheme is a meaningful set of phonemes. I don't know what the fuck that means. I know I'm an English major. I know I'm an editor. I don't know what the fuck that means. Linguistics! Yeah, I'm not a linguist, actually. I'm not even gonna make the joke. I don't deserve it. I haven't earned it. My English major was in literature, just so we're clear. I specialized in Victorian era British literature, as it happens. And then as an editor, I think how unfortunate for your wife. I love it. As an editor, I will be upfront with you. I was a vibe-based editor. I was weak on the actual hard rules and mechanics. I'm familiar with AP and Chicago style, but I can't quote it for you. Yeah. Getting depressed cat, chucking them Dickens. Yeah. Bloviating is a perfectly cromulent word. Linguistics has 2 major theories. Okay. Descriptivism and prescriptivism. I am a descriptivist. Okay. Fun. I once briefly ran a Victorian horror TTRPG. It was basically inspired by League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Okay, Hildy. Okay. You describe language as it is used, not as old Victorian people say it should be used. Yes. Yeah, that is extremely accurate. Yes. I'm big into language being fluid and helpful. I am a words mean things guy in the sense that those meanings can change and we need to be sensitive and aware of how they change as they change. Yes, exactly. Literally can be used as is because it means something to someone. Yes, yeah, I completely agree. I'm descriptivist for the language I use and prescriptivist for the screwed up bad English those dummies use. Same. But yeah, I focus on Victorian era British literature for 2 reasons. One, it was fascinating to see the effect and influence and commentary on the Industrial Revolution as it happened, and 2, I love reading about miserable rich people, and that was the topic du jour of Victorian era British literature because everyone hated the fucking rich. And it made you feel like a big man. Alright, only 20% of the game was mapped out for the Shoshinkai version, but even so we saw many areas. This is important to note, Jeff. this is important to note that here, okay, Shoshinkai was November of 1995. We are currently in the January 1996 issue of Nintendo Power, and I'm trying to remember when they said. I'm trying to remember if they have a launch date posted here. I can't remember if they're still pretending that this is going to launch in the spring or not. But only 20% of Mario 64 is done. So, that should tell you something. PCs are Alice Liddell, Lady Mabel Goring, Phileas Fogg, Annie Oakley, and Henry Jones. That's awesome. Don't worry about it, Hildy. We got the right idea. It's the thought that counts. Opening world consists of a castle and grounds surrounding it. All the main part of the game lies within the castle, from which you warp to many other places. You can explore the countryside surrounding the castle as well. For instance, you can jump in the moat surrounding the castle and swim around looking for hidden treasures or just for fun. The amazing thing is it's fun to just mess around, whether it is swimming or climbing trees or whatever. The play, control, and animation are so realistic, it's like being in another world. I cannot say enough good things about the controls in Super Mario 64. They are a little loose. Mario can definitely get out of control, but in a really fun way. Like the looseness is in service of how fluid Mario is. He is responsive in a sense, but also has an immense amount of momentum behind him. And if you've ever watched speedruns of Mario 64, you will understand how big a thing momentum is in this game. I really have to stress this for anyone who's never played Mario 64 or anyone who hasn't played Mario 64 in a long, long time. The controls are a huge reason why this game is such a classic. They are not perfect. They're a little slippery. They're a little squirrely. They're a little loose. But that adds to the experience in a very interesting way. Momentum is huge. You can break half the game by wiping your ass on the circuits. Yeah. Just drag your ass along like a dog and hit warp speed. It's incredible. But yeah, Nintendo Power is really capturing here what I think about Mario 64 is it is just an amazing experience to be in this game in a way that even modern 3D platformers don't really manage to capture. And it's hard to say why. I think some of it is certainly like Mario as a franchise, as an IP. I hate to be crass about this, but you know, Mario is a big deal. You know, Mario is a big property. I grew up with Mario. People grew up with Mario. Being able to run around in a 3D immersive Mario world, big deal in 1996. You know, a very different experience from running around in Doom or Dark Forces or something, you know. But also it just feels good, and it feels good in a way that modern 3D platformers don't. And I kind of feel this might be a little contentious, chat. This might be my hot take of the evening. I think it possible that modern 3D platformers, their controls are too clean. I think Mario 64 is kind of messy in a way that lends to its immersion. The way that Mario has weight and momentum and like scoots and slides around and can be hard to control at times. I think that really genuinely adds to the experience. Whereas most 3D platformers now are extremely precise. The controls are very, very tight. There's no drift, there's no slide, you have perfect air control, all of that. I think the fact that you don't Mario 64 is a big reason why it's so immersive. I would actually point to something like the old school Castlevanias. Castlevanias 1, 2, 3, and 4. I don't think anyone would call... We've had this discussion before, chat. I don't think anyone would necessarily call the old school Castlevania controls good. But I also think they are elemental to the experience. I don't think old school Castlevania would be what it is if you had more fluid or responsive controls. I think Simon and Trevor being like clunky and slow adds something to those games. It adds something that I think would be missed if they controlled more like a modern Castlevania with really, really fluid, responsive controls. It adds frustration. It does! No, it absolutely does. I will not dispute that. You struggle with those controls. You fight with them. You scream and rage when the clunky-ass controls cause you to get knocked off a platform by a fucking bird or something. But I really don't think it would be the same experience if they controlled better. And I know I shouldn't even be entertaining this thought because I'm also 110% against tank controls. I am in the vanguard against tank controls. I am in the people's militia for purging tank controls from this earth. And I know that there are people out there who feel the same way about tank controls that I do about old school Castlevania controls. And I'm not going to apologize for it. We will just live our lives and maybe see eye to eye someday. But yeah. I really do think that the shitty old Castlevania controls are special and important. Like straight up, if you remade Castlevania 1 and you made it play like Symphony of the Night, I bet it would be a lot of fun. I bet it would be a really cool game. I bet it would arguably be a better game than the original Castlevania, but it would be a different game. Original Castlevania would still have its place in light of that. It just wouldn't be the same experience. It would not feel like the same game. What about Tank Simulator? I can maybe give you that in Tank Simulator, frankly. Tank controls for your non-tank pro tag is absolutely horrible and works in exactly one game, and I can't say which one because you haven't played it. Wouldn't surprise me if someone's already done that. Oh, they have. They have. I've played it. It's pretty good, honestly. Yeah, there is at least one ROM hack out there that reimagines Castlevania 1 as a Symphony of the Night style game. 2 Hits posted about it. I streamed a bit of it. I don't even remember the name of it now. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go look this up for you because I've done this, and if y'all are curious, wasn't that one? It was recent. Oh shit, no, it was I don't know how to find this, actually. Because it was like a, we did like a, what was it? It was a request, it was a community night, I think. Maybe somebody can find it on Discord. Fan game rather than ROM hack? You played that on stream right now and then you played it and came back with mixed reviews? Yeah. Yeah, I beat it. I beat it. It's fun, but flawed. And yeah, it is absolutely not the same experience as the original. Of course, I'm a bit of a militant on this point. Like, y'all know about me and AM2R. If a remake or reimagining strays too far from the original experience, I won't even consider them the same game. Like, to me, AM2R has nothing to do with Metroid 2. It doesn't deserve to be in the same conversation, other than this was loosely inspired by this. I get genuinely mad at people who are like, AM2R is the definitive Metroid 2 experience. Motherfucker, they're not the same game. They're almost not even the same genre. I think that's my issue. We're getting way off topic now, chat, but I think the core issue here is that I have a problem with people trying to erase or overlook games in light of a different one. And like, this applies to everything. I've always had a problem with the people who are like, what's a good example? XCOM. The people who are like, oh, Long War is the definitive XCOM experience. Like, just forget about the original game. Long War is the way to go. No, motherfucker, that's a different game for different people wanting different things. AM2R is a completely different experience from Metroid 2. Like, you can like Metroid 2 and AM2R. They're totally different things. I don't want people... I don't want one game to be pushed out of consideration because something else that shares its name or its auspices is good, you know? Like Zelda 2, Link's Adventure, NES. One of the more contentious Zelda games. Definitely not the most contentious game from what I've seen, but definitely a contentious Zelda game. Took me a long time to build my appreciation for that game. I love it now. I really, really enjoy it. I played a ROM hack of it called Amida's Curse, which is like, it has a different story. The structure of the game is more or less the same, but it is so much better designed than Zelda 2. It is. It just is. Like, whoever made Amida's Curse took Zelda 2 as a jumping off point and made a better game using the bones of the original. I did a full playthrough of Amida's Curse on stream because it was that good. It's excellent. I would honestly say, even if you don't like Zelda 2, you should try Amida's Curse. It's super good. It is super, super good. However, and this is really important, Amida's Curse does not take Zelda 2 out of the conversation. All right? I will never recommend somebody play Amida's Curse over Zelda 2. I will only say, if you tried Amida's Curse is great, even if you don't like Zelda 2. You need to have played it. You need to have tried it. But even if you don't like Zelda 2, there's a chance you'll like Amita's Curse because it is better designed. But they are two different games and both deserve your attention. Zelda 2 is a very, very important milestone in the Zelda series because it is so different and it is so unique. Amita's Curse is a very important game because it's essentially a better version of Zelda 2. Zelda 2 will absolutely punch you in the dick and giggle about it. It is a mean-ass game. It is a very, very mean-ass game. And I will make no apologies for it. And that's one of the things that Amita's Curse gets right. It has more modern design sensibilities where it won't punch you in the dick. It wants you to succeed. It wants to see you have fun. Amita's Curse is like the player-friendly Zelda 2. And I appreciate it very much for that. As soon as the game is a ROM hack or fan game based on a game, it immediately leaves my mind being part of the series because it's not. Yeah. I'm pretty much there with you, Eva. But I'm also I'm kind of a weirdo when it comes to mods and ROM hacks and stuff. I'm a natural purist when it comes to gaming experiences. I have this thing, practically a mental block, where I want to experience the developer's original intent for good and for bad, warts and all. I want to experience their original vision because I feel like once you mod or ROM hack something, then you're muddying the waters because then you've got the original developer's vision twisted and resculpted by another creator. And that's not a bad thing. And sometimes you get really good stuff or arguably better stuff in the case of Amita's Curse. But it is still creatively a bit of a mess to me mentally. I miss that brief, beautiful time when sequels are completely different games, often even in different genres, have always just the first game plus more. I know. Though, let's be fair, it had its ups and its downs. You know, Zelda 2 was not particularly well received. Zelda 2 is and always has been a contentious game. You've also got stuff like ActRaiser 2, which was a different genre in a bad way because it dispensed with the unique parts of ActRaiser. Good evening, Arcane. How's it going, the Nintendo 64 gaming? That's the fun part. It isn't. We started on this page, and we're still on this page. I haven't even made it to the second page yet. I have been rambling so much tonight. The odds of us even turning this particular page are ever dwindling. And beyond that, I'm not set up yet for playing N64 games, so. Yeah, we haven't made it to the second. No, we're actually, to be fair, we are in the third paragraph right now, but I haven't finished it. So. What else is in this issue? We'll never know. We will never know. The game's discourse has been fire. That's the thing about the Power Hours. Occasionally, we will sacrifice gameplay and or magazine progression for really, really, really solid conversation. And I do believe tonight is one of those really, really solid conversation nights. I can't speak for anyone else, but I find this to be a very I find this to be a very gratifying conversation because I'm the only one who's speaking. I'm the one talking and y'all are in chat, and I like it this way. All right. Anyway, inside the castle, Mario discovers warp zones behind closed doors. Oh my god, we're on the next page, chat. It's incredible. Literally was coming here to type that. Satisfying because you... Of course I'm satisfied. I can't speak for y'all. Could I request Super Picross? I'm afraid not. No. You literally can, because I don't have requests open. because there was no point in opening requests while we're on N64 stuff. As it happens. I've been saying as it happens a lot lately, and I don't know why. I've always had a problem with repetition, getting stuck on certain phrases. And I don't know where or why I got this one. But frankly, I'm really enjoying it. Because it has been happening quite a lot. It is quite happening. It's almost like you're in a community of neurodivergent individuals and perhaps might have some neurodivergency. I imagine I do. Can I tell you? When I started working at the grocery store, I took to it right away because I like organizing things. I like having things all neat and lined up and stuff, right? So I would get on like the tomatoes, the avocados, or the apples or something, and I would just like meticulously line them up, right? I would get everything really, really well organized. And I remember one of my coworkers, before they got to know me, they were like, so how are you liking this job? And I was like, honestly, I like it more than I ever thought I would. I'm big. I really like organizing things. I really like having everything like lined up on my desk and stuff, like that. She, but like without missing a beat, she was like, oh, are you on the spectrum? And I was like, you know what? Maybe. Oh my god. Manic. He's autistic. It was right there the whole time. Oh my god. And the thing, game you were thinking of is Castlevania Revamped. That's it. Yes, thank you, Depressed Cat. Thank you so much for that. Open that. Hang on to that. Yeah. Community freeware night. That's what it was. Cool. I would honestly say Castlevania Revamped is worth a look. Especially if you like the symphony style games. It's an interesting experiment. I would not feel obligated to commit to it. Like, don't feel like you need to finish it if it's wearing thin, but it's an interesting experiment. Late in life diagnosis because of shit like that. At least didn't throw a microwave out the window, right? Can always be worse. Can always be worse. I was told that I have to judge whether to be offended talking to a fellow autistic person. My age are younger than they know about autism solidarity, or older than it's iffy. Yeah, it was. Look, I will say this. It was insensitive. I know that, but also I don't care. It takes a lot to personally offend me. I can laugh off a lot of things. So maybe I shouldn't, but yeah. Some people are insensitive and you're like, oh, well, I guess you're fine. Yeah, it's like, I don't, yeah, that, Manic, that's the other thing. Yeah, she meant no offense by it. I think it was an earnest question. And like, I'm not particularly inclined to get mad about people being insensitive because it doesn't come from a place of malice. It comes from a place of ignorance, you know? Yeah, no, it was not a same Z situation, believe me. It definitely wasn't. So yeah. I just it's one of those things. It's just funny to me. I don't mind. I mean, I'm middle-aged, I'm a nerd, I'm balding, I work at a grocery store. There's plenty to make fun of. There's plenty to poke fun at. There's no reason for me to take offense at any of it. Would have been fine. It was like, oh, you're also on the spectrum. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I'm a very peaceable guy. I'm very conflict averse. I can take a lot just to avoid conflict. Probably too much. I do have my line, and it has been crossed before. But in general, I will just laugh or shrug off most things. Conflict is healthy for you. I know. I'm too much of a glad handler. It's my nature. I want everybody to go along. Get along. Go along with me, I suppose. Once Mario steps into the warp, he is transported to another place or course. Hearing warp out of context like that makes me think of the warp from 40K, and oh boy, that would be an interesting Mario game. The object is to pass through every course, finding all the secrets along the way. In the first course alone, you climb a tower, slide into a pool, dodge thwomps, battle a giant piranha plant, discover a hidden cannon that switches to first-person cannon mode, and more. I think they're talking about Whomp's Fortress. I think it, because they have so the screenshots, chat. The screenshots here are one of the most interesting parts of this to me. We've got some early issues of Whomp's Fortress here with some very different textures and some like simplified bullet bills and stuff, which I think is pretty interesting. Seems like this was maybe the original. This was their originally intended first level before they came up with Bob-omb Battlefield. But yeah, excuse me. Excuse me. But yeah, these early screenshots are pretty interesting. They had this one. This one with the moon emblem is, I think, the part of the castle. The Boo in the water. I'm trying to remember if that's Boo's mansion or something. Did you ever superflu shot us or the bad cop? Please be careful. Don't worry. This is not me being sick. This is me talking too much without enough to drink. I didn't drink enough water today. I know that. I'm just drying out from all the commentary. Because yeah, I'm talking more than I normally do on nights like this. Interesting to see how much analog horror Mario 64 strays to take from the Shoshinkai beta version. Yeah, I bet. Take a trip to Boo's Fortress. Yeah, they also have, I forget what the lava world is called, but that one seems pretty well realized at this point. And then they've got the castle exterior and then 2 more screenshots from Whomp's Fortress. So it seems like they only got 3 worlds right now. Lethal Lava Land. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. So yeah. Behind door number 2, Mario is warped to an icy world where a mother penguin protects a brood of baby birds. The course contains a series of ice slides that carry you ever downward. Because we look for hidden surprises, even a bonus slide that's like a giant luge run where Mario's collect coins. Another world contains a courtyard of Boo Buddies, and another features a hot lava bubbling beneath a grid and shifting islands where Mario must jump with precision. Okay, so they had Whomp's Fortress. They had the Ice Mountain. They had the Haunted Mansion, and they had Lethal Lava Land. So it seems like they had 4 worlds at this point. What was your first thought when you first bumped into the piano? Terror. That scared the shit out of me. Yeah, exactly. The story for the game is still in development. Wow. The idea that this game even has a story. I got a question for you, chat. What would you consider to be the first Mario game to have a story? Where do you draw that particular line? They're playing this on AGDQ and someone yeeted the baby penguin. I like how we immediately get the 2 extremes. The first one and none. 3 probably, Super Mario World. RPG? That's a good answer. 3 had dialogue at least. Mario RPG. Mario's missing. In theory, even Donkey Kong has a story. Yes, in theory they all did. In theory they all did. But I think on a personal level, is like, maybe I'm not being very charitable here, Chad. Like, yes, all of the Mario games have a story, technically. I suppose what I should have asked, was, what was the first Mario game where the story mattered? Because in Mario 1, if you read the instruction manual, you'll see that it has a story. In Mario 2, there is a story that kind of fills in once you get to the end of the game. Mario 3 has a story which is the Koopa kids are being little fuckheads, and then once you beat them all, Bowser decides to be a fuckhead. Super Mario World story is that you're saving Dinosaur Island from Bowser. Yoshi's Island story is that you're trying to rescue baby Luigi. Super Mario 64's story is that Peach baked Mario a cake on the same day that Bowser decided to be a fuckhead. So really not much of one there. We're still waiting on that then. Mario Galaxy has an insane story. Mario Galaxy kind of feels like fuck, his name went out of my head. Mario Galaxy feels kind of like Miyamoto had like a Evangelion style meltdown in the middle of it. First one where it mattered, RPG for you. Wario's story is that Wario likes money, which is probably the most wholesome story. Was it ever established there were Bowser's DNA kids by way of actual reproduction? The question, PM Collector Boy, you can be clear here. You don't need to dance around it. The question is, does Bowser canonically fuck? Paper Mario games. I heard they had to sneak the Rosalina stuff in under Miyamoto's nose. Really? That's a shame. I love Rosalina. They're super angry and not have a new canon character, and Rosalina couldn't be too developed. That's a shame. Again, I really like Rosalina. I think she's super cool. Current canon is that Bowser Jr. is genetically Bowser's kid, but the Koopa kids are not. Yeah, the whole Bowser Jr. thing really complicated things. Apparently he told Junior Peach was his mom. That's fucking weird. He's a weird guy. Bowser's a wife that lives in Canada. Yeah, Rosalina did win. That's true. Never the OST development of Super Mario Galaxy, the initial music draft was rejected because lead music designer heard him and said this music is cute, but Mario is cool. Well, whatever it took to get the soundtrack to Galaxy, like, it was worth it. Galaxy has one of the best soundtracks of any Mario game, and I'm standing by that. Galaxy's soundtrack fucking slaps. I see what you did there, Manic. I see what you did. You can't get that by me. Bunch of extended Bowser family we never see. Mario Galaxy would have been better with Rad Spencer in it. I'm so glad your kids don't watch this. They would die of this. I think my younger daughter has actually told some of her friends that her dad's a streamer, and I think some of them have looked up my videos. Super Mario Odyssey's story is Peach is kidnapping Mario's that has a hat of psychological horror. So Super Mario Odyssey's story went in a direction that I never expected. Like, one of my favorite parts of Odyssey is it is a wildly unexpected game. Like, every step of that game is something new and different, and I really like it. Especially the ending. Odyssey's ending is insane, trumped only by the ending of Galaxy. Bowser's reactor theme is probably the best final level music in a Mario game. Yeah, I would honestly agree with that. It's super good. Someday they should do a game that includes Bowser's kid sister. I may be tempted to make my own YouTube video about the true identity of Bowser Jr.'s mom. Just plain old Bowser. Reptile Parthenogenesis. Yeah, dude, the random ass Dark Souls level in Odyssey. I love that shit. I love it. Yeah, Odyssey's editing is bugfuck crazy. I never in a million years would have guessed that ending. It's insane. I like the part of the Odyssey plot where you have to stare at the moon for 20 minutes. Never finished Odyssey? Fix that. The ending of Odyssey is incredible. And I mean that in the classic sense of incredible. Like, it is extremely difficult to believe. And actually does right by Peach for once. I wanna give Odyssey a major shout out for actually doing right by Peach for once. Is Mario becoming the enemy through his hat or forcing his soul into the enemy's body? Don't believe me at all? Finish it. Just do it. Just do it. You'll see. The ending of Super Mario Odyssey is the only one that really gives Peach any credit. And it does so in a major way. And it's so refreshing to see. Remind me of something else that I'd absolutely adore. You know, Mario and Luigi have Wario, and Waluigi are basically inverses. Someone drew art of an inverse of Bowser named Wowzer. A cute, dainty dragon turtle girl, cheerful and friendly, depicted with pom-poms and... That's awesome! That should absolutely be canon. That would be so cool. I mean, that would fit right in. That's such a good idea. What's up, our Dominic? Our Odyssey is the only one I've ever finished, much less played for any real amount of time. And yes, the ending is incredible. Isn't it? Yeah, Odyssey. It's hard to play favorites with Mario games. It really, really is. Like, depending on my mood, Yoshi's Island is my favorite, or Galaxy is my favorite, or Mario 3 is my favorite. But whenever I talk about that, I always feel like I'm doing Odyssey a disservice. Because Odyssey is, like, incredibly good. And I feel like Odyssey is perennially my number 2. Like, whichever Mario game I say is my favorite, Odyssey is number 2 to it. And I'm sure it comes down to personal preference. Like, stuff like Mario 3 and Yoshi's Island are really special to me because of when I played them in my life and like my particular experiences with them. But Odyssey is just so good for a lot of reasons. Like, Odyssey is one of those magical games that is like, it's super respectful of the series lineage, but also does a bunch of new things that are kind of overdue. It's honestly a really important Mario game. Like, probably the most important recent Mario game. Like, Wonder was great. Like, Wonder was a really, really cool game. Like the revival of New Super Mario Brothers was solid and stuff. What are the Mario Rabbids games? I can't comment on those because I haven't played them. I've heard they're great. I heard that they're really, really good, but yeah. You know, I'm always hesitant to say a newer game in the series. Sometimes I wonder if it comes from like the whole gaming gatekeeping and femmes. I was like, oh, it can't be the new one. Maybe. So then you get a Wonder. Wonder's great. Wonder is basically, you know how every modern Mario game has a gimmick, right? There's always some kind of gimmick in a modern Mario game. When they were designing Mario Wonder, they were like, what gimmick should we put in this game? And they just went, yes! All of them! And like, every level has a different gimmick. Other than that, it's a very classic Mario game. But to me, it's like a classic Mario game pushed to its absolute limits, which is really cool. It's really, really cool. I don't think it's something they can do again. And I think that's kind of important. It does make me wonder a little bit for the future of Mario games. Because it feels like they already pulled the nuclear option for the 2D games with Wonder. Like, I genuinely don't know where you go from there. You could make a Wonder 2 if you've got a really creative team who can actually come up with more new gimmicks for each level. But honestly, like, it's kind of like Smash Ultimate. I don't know where you go from Smash Ultimate. Like, everyone is here. Literally everyone you can get is here. You made that game about as big as and comprehensive and bold and ambitious as you possibly can. I don't know what you do after that. I genuinely don't know what you do after that. Super Mario Fallout, Super Mario Deathclaw Riders. I have to assume that their next effort is going to be another 3D Mario. Like, they're probably looking at some kind of follow-up to Odyssey. And I mean, Odyssey, so I think you could have made the same argument for something like Galaxy. Like, Mario has transcended worlds. Mario has loosed the surly bonds of Earth, or Mushroom Kingdom, wherever the fuck it is. And Mario travels the cosmos now. How do you top that? Go on an Odyssey, as it turns out. Like, you can actually be locked to one planet and make a more, and arguably more rich and immersive experience out of that. So, yeah, it's probably just my own short-sightedness, my own inability to dream the way the designers at Nintendo dream. They'll top Wonder in some way, but it's just, for me, it's hard to see how. I still have made an Eternal Darkness character for Smash Brothers. I forget Eternal Darkness. We were talking about cult classics. I know, right? I know, right? Anyway, the story for the game is still in development. I really enjoy segueing back to the magazine after like rambling about something else for like 20 minutes and getting super off topic. Mario's the main character and Bowser appears as the arch nemesis. Mr. Miyamoto says that Yoshi doesn't show up in this game. This man lies! This man lies! Well, at this point, he wasn't in it, so. One surprise that Mario has more strength than ever before. He has the strength of 8 plumbers. A new power meter with ratings up to 8 give Mario a fighting chance against the enhanced 64-bit enemies who now haunt his steps. Perhaps refill the circular meter to keep Mario in the game. Players can bring up an inset map as well to check on Mario's position and make strategic decisions. You know what, chat? You know what? I think a big reason why we can have this discussion tonight, the discussion we had like an hour ago, about the camera in Super Mario 64 working, like being sufficient, working well enough, I think it's because Mario has a health meter. I think it's because Mario actually has a health meter in this game and doesn't like instantly die when hit or only take like 1 or 2 hits, you know? I think the fact that there's a buffer of health allows you to, like falling in lava. You can actually damage boost through lava in this game if you really, really want. Because in the final analysis, it doesn't do that much damage. Health meter also ties to his drowning meter, yeah. Well, that was the thing. It's like, it's weird. It's genuinely weird that like you restore health by collecting coins. Like that makes it really, really easy to not die. But again, I think that gives the camera a lot of leeway. And I know those sound like unrelated things, but the problem with a frustrating unresponsive camera is it gets you killed. But with the buffer you have from the damage meter and restoring it through coins, it takes a lot of the edge off in this game. For sure. At first I thought maybe meant limited health is a boon, not realizing you meant, yeah, the other way. The other way. The fact that you have so much health in this game. I'll like taking a little bath immediately because I'm full health. I feel man, take a shower, yeah. The water is so refreshing, yeah. That's true. Yeah. That's true. Wherever there's enough water to swim in, you get a free restore, no problem. Which also helped with any potential frustration. You know, nobody ever complains about the water levels in Mario 64. I mean, people complain about Wet Dry Town, right? Because the gimmick there is kind of frustrating to finagle. But I feel like people don't really complain about the water levels in Mario 64. And I feel like it's probably because like they're the easiest place to stay topped off on health, because you just have to resurface and that's it. To be fair, the soundtrack for Dry Docks does some heavy lifting. Also true. Yeah, it is so incredibly placid and comforting. I'll complain it's also entirely on the merit of water controls being a universal curse problem. Yeah, admittedly, the water controls aren't great in this. It took me a long time as a kid to get used to them in this game. And I did get there, but yeah. Mario is a 3D figure created from hundreds of texture map polygons, but he doesn't have the blocky, sharp-edged look of a Virtua Fighter. They did it, chat. They did a call out. Take that, Virtua Fighter. Who even likes you anyway? At the closest camera zoom, Mario consists of 1,500 polygons. Since the N64 is so powerful, the large number of polygons doesn't affect rendering speed, and the screen can be filled with equally detailed backgrounds, objects, and enemies. We noted 5 or 6 enemies as large as Mario moving about the screen at once. In addition to the solid objects, the shifting lighting effects and shadows that appear in the game are some of the most impressive computer-generated effects we've ever seen. Imagine a game as realistic as the Toy Story movie that you actually control. Okay, they were doing good, chat. They were doing good for a while, but they overshot the mark there. I can't give them that one. Take that, completely different game, a completely different genre, a completely different system. Haha, owned, idiots. What's up, Tradon? Good to see you. You haven't missed anything tonight. We've been on these 2 pages the entire evening. But hey, we're on to the last 2 paragraphs. There's a non-zero chance we actually turn the page tonight. Are they talking about how powerful and efficient the N64? Most of this puff piece has been focused on Mario 64, and to their credit, they've actually been right about most of it. Mario 64 was a landmark in platformer, specifically 3D platformer development. It is fun in special and unique ways. Most notably, this game is uniquely fun to just kind of run around and chill in without having to worry about objectives and stuff. I gotta draw the line at them saying this is like a playable version of Toy Story. Like, fuck that shit. When you're imagining high-tech new game graphics, were you imagining Toy Story? No, actually, I wasn't. Toy Story was certainly a remarkable film, but that wasn't really what I wanted from my video games at the time, because video games were kind of doing their own thing at the time too. Video games were impressing in their own arenas. Honestly, really funny considering how much Kaze has been able to streamline the Mario 64 engine. One of some ways he did that was making so Mario's eyes were actually mirrored, which they weren't. Both eyes were together in a single texture. Wow. Someone actually found a way of snagging the impossible one-up that falls through the floor if we can grab it. Oh, that's cool. Mario has far more triangles than I would have guessed. Around 750 triangles, depending on how one counts optional parts. Yeah, I know, that's crazy, right? 1,500 polygons. However, okay, hang on. We are 10 months out from this game actually being released. The game is only 20% complete. It is possible he was scaled back as the game expanded. So this might not be... This might not be the final say on how many triangles he is. I get it, first was kind of learning along the way. It's funny to see some of the obvious things they could have fixed. Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. Yeah, also might have been true at the time. Yeah. Certainly. Speaking of control, Mario runs, walks, jumps, squats, whirls, slides, swings, climbs, flips, soars, waves his arms, and hoots with joy. Nintendo 64 controller is perfectly adapted to Mario's range of motion. The control stick guides his movement speed through 360 degrees, while the jump button sends him bounding into or out of trouble. You can pick up objects using the B button, alter the camera view using the 4 C buttons, and bring up the inset map with the left and right button. Inset map? I don't remember the map. Controller is responsive and smooth in every situation. The only element that can throw you at first is the necessity of changing camera angles in a 3D world from time to time. Again, all true. All true. The wealth of movement options that Mario has goes a long way towards making the game as immersive as it is. 1,500 triangles when zoomed in is maybe a miscommunication. The title screen head is around 1,200 triangles, which I can see being a mix-up. Oh, perhaps. Most of those things weren't actually a performance bottleneck, making Mario's eyes more efficient when we actually changed anything. Still, it makes you wonder why they decided to do that, right? It's definitely a bizarre choice. Even the title screen of Super Mario 64 is fun as a means of learning how to manipulate the control stick. Players can mess with Mario in the opening screen. It may look as if Mario is simply waiting to get started in the game, but you can pull or tweak his nose in 360 degrees and elicit different responses. Ouch! It's so good, it hurts. Chat, it only took us 2 hours and 15 minutes, but we have read through 2 pages of Nintendo Power. I think we owe ourselves a round of applause here. I think we've done some really good work here tonight. I think we've really accomplished something. I'm proud of us. Read it again. Fuck you, Eva. I am turning the page. We have talked Mario 64 to absolute death tonight. Let's see what else they got. Well, we got more stuff to talk about. Get something that works first and you tune up whatever will do the most good to optimize. Indeed. I saw it online a while back, and it's kind of become my mantra as a creator, as a writer, as a creative person. I live by the mantra of make it exist, then make it good. I've found that's the most effective way to write something. Is to leave all of your hang-ups, all of your second thoughts, all your preconceived notions, every part of your brain that second guesses everything that you're doing, leave it all behind. Just dispense with it. Just dump your brain out on the page and then fix it in editing. Make it exist, then make it good. That has honestly been a big boon to me when trying to write new things. And I encourage all of y'all in your... Exactly, we'll fix it in post. It's not just a punchline, it's a way of life. I encourage all the creatives out there to take heart from this. Don't beat yourself up while you're creating things. Just make it exist, then make it good. Thus God invented the platypus. Why are Pilot Wings 64 as fucking brutal as it is for the SNES? That's a really good question, because I have never... So, of the games on this page, I've played Wave Race the most. I love Wave Race. I really, really love Wave Race. I've played some hours of The Legend of Zelda 64, what we know now as Ocarina of Time. I haven't gotten super far in it. Pilot Wings 64 and Mario Kart 64 I basically have never played. Don't really know much, if anything, about them. Wait, holy shit, that Mario Kart 64 screenshot actually looks like the finished product. Well, we'll read about where it actually is in development. It could be that these two particular tracks didn't change much between early development and launch. Same as recommended for writing, don't edit as you go. Oh yeah, no, that's basically what I'm talking about. Yeah, with writing, just... Okay. Writing to me is like sculpting. Except I think a lot of people get the stages wrong. Writing your initial draft is basically unpacking the clay. It's basically dumping the clay on the table. Like, you need a foundation to work from, and that is what your first draft is. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be good. It doesn't even have to make sense. It just needs to be a jumble of words that can eventually be massaged into the story that you want. I really, really think, and yes, this is partly me as an editor speaking, I really, really do think that the editing process is over half of what makes a really great story. I think it's the majority of what makes a really great story. I think that first I think the first draft is essentially a glorified version of like jotting down notes. You're just jotting down notes in a more structured way. Everyone can write. This is the philosophy of a Hildy. Put words on page and go to friend and say, make it not stuck. Would say that Mario Kart 64 is the first of what I would call the modern Mario Kart games. Yeah, there's kind of a gulf between Mario Kart on SNES and everything else, isn't there? Mario Kart 64 is kind of the template for everything that came after, right? Was Mario Kart 64 the first one with like spark drifting, where drifting could give you speed boosts? Because yeah, that seems pretty elemental to them. Yeah, it was. Yeah, then that's really where the Mario Kart series started then, because that is absolutely elemental to the experience. Chat, I need you to excuse me for a second. I'm actually gonna get another drink. My throat is so parched, it's getting hard to speak, and I don't like that because I'm not done yet. So I'm gonna get some more drink, and I will be back in a second. Okay. I am going to level with you, chat. I eyeballed this one. I am really bad at eyeballing. I can tell I'm really bad at eyeballing, but you know what? I can sleep in tomorrow. I'm not working, so fuck it. That was good. I think Double Dash was when it became unhinged how fast it could be. Yeah, no. Double Dash had crazy dash mechanics in it. And you could abuse the shit out of it. Honestly, prefer GameCube Wave Race. I didn't even know there was a GameCube Wave Race. I should play that. Yes, this is a problem for future Oddish. Balling to the was over. It's actually lime vodka. I am fortunate enough to be in possession of a bottle of Deep Eddy lime vodka, which is fucking delicious. Absolutely adore it. Goes really, really exceptionally well with cranberry juice. Nice and tangy with a hint of sweetness and that citrus zing. Oh, God. I'm gonna have some more right now. Oh, yes. This is a good night, chat. It's a good night. You fucking sorority girl or 23-year-old Hildy, take your pick. Screwdriver, boy driver. Screwdriver is orange juice and vodka. This is like halfway to a Cosmopolitan. This is... So a Cosmo is vodka, triple sec, lime juice, cranberry juice, and simple syrup to taste. Yeah, this is... So yeah, I cheated because it's lime vodka. So there's no lime juice. The lime is already in the vodka. And it's a cranberry blend. So arguably there's already sugar in there. So yeah, basically it's a Cosmo without the triple sec. Which probably has its own name, but I don't know what it is and I don't give a fuck. So, hey. Wave Race Blue Storm, a launch title for the GameCube. I had no idea, Austin. Thank you for letting me know. I'll have to try that sometime. Madura? Oh, it does have a name. Oh, cool. Okay. Has there been a Wave Race game after the GameCube one? If there... Madras. Okay. If there was a Wave Race after the GameCube one, I would not know. Explain something to me. What in the blue blazes of vermouth? I can't tell you offhand because I don't use it. Not at present. But I'll look it up for you. Vermouth is an Italian aromatized fortified wine flavored with various botanicals and sometimes colored. Produced mainly in Italy, France, and Spain. Vermouth is traditionally used for medicinal purposes. I mean, I know I'd probably end up dead, but there is a part of me that kind of misses. It's a little sad. I miss the days of medicine where they would just prescribe like fucking liquor. Like on some level that had to be pretty entertaining. Later served as an aperitif. Late 19th century, it became popular with bartenders as a key ingredient for cocktails. Key ingredient, the martini, the Manhattan, the Rob Roy, and Negroni. But yeah, I don't actually have vermouth, but I should get some, frankly. Wild Trip doing testing work for that game, so much overtime available. I got sent home because I clocked 96 hours. Jesus. That's crazy. Vermouth is a sweetened wine. It used to be illegal in a lot of ways because it has wormwood in it. Drink it straight, it's delicious, so you get nicer ones. You worked in a vermouth bar in Portland. Holy shit. Makes you quite the expert, does it not? Yeah, take 2 cocaine and see me in the morning. Anna has a great story from when she was a little girl about alcohol as medicine. Vermouth spritzer is amazing. Dry vermouth, seltzer, and orange juice. Orange slice. Bartender, the tweezing flower variety. I worked with huge chefs now to introduce stupid shit. So you would know. You're the go-to person then. Well, damn, now I gotta look into getting some vermouth. Because I would certainly enjoy making some stuff like some martinis and Negronis around here. Flower girl, a relative's wedding day before the wedding, her sneezed and was worried she'd get sick, so day of wedding on it was giving her a spoonful of some alcohol or other every time she saw her. Okay, Hildy, yeah, hit me up. Remind that my mom gave me beer as a child at least twice, presumably for some medicine reason. I don't remember clearly. I think some relative of mine let me try beer when I was a child, specifically to dissuade me from alcohol, and I think it worked. Because I didn't really drink, even in college. I started drinking when I went to Spain. Because in Spain, it is easier to get beer than water. We were given champagne and beer at 2 different functions. Time the wedding started, the flower girl was completely stuck. Still don't drink. I mean, that's probably for the best, honestly. It is. I will fully admit it's an expensive habit. I have a well-stocked wine cabinet. And even though we only tend to buy things when they're on deep discount, it's not cheap. It's just something that we really quite enjoy. You're drinking vermouth everywhere in Spain. You had no idea. I was definitely going to tapas places. Okay. I mean, don't like the taste is really all the reason you need. I ended up... It's kind of weird, honestly. I kind of ended up adapting to it just because... like, drinking was the thing to do in Spain. And like I was never a big fan of beer, so I would fuck around with like cocktails and discovered that there were cocktails that I actually really enjoyed, because I used to just not like the taste of alcohol at all. Especially beer, probably because of my early experience, but like, yeah, like wine, white wine, red wine, liquors, certainly like whiskey. I was never a fan of it. I didn't like it until I went to Spain and I started having cocktails that made them taste really good, like genuinely really good. And that's kind of what broke the seal for me and made me branch out more. So I've discovered it's kind of cyclical. If you don't enjoy the taste of alcohol and you drink alcohol for whatever reason, I'm not saying anyone should. This is not an endorsement or suggestion in any way. It's just been my experience, because I started out not liking the taste of alcohol. I found cocktails that I liked, which branched out into wines that I liked. As I got more accustomed to it, it made everything taste better. I think it altered my palate. I'm still not a huge fan of beer, but I will drink it, and there are some beers that I do enjoy. I genuinely love wine now. I absolutely love cocktails. I mean, I bring cocktails to every stream I do, so I don't need to tell you that. And being an amateur mixologist means I can make cocktails exactly the way I want to, which is probably a lot sweeter and a lot fruitier than most aspiring alcoholics would choose, but it's what I like. So Manic, for you, don't like the taste. Being diabetic, drinking is not wise, and your family has a strong history of addiction. That's not smart. Yes, so you have every reason in the world not to drink. And I hope I am not encouraging or glorifying or in any way being a negative influence on you in this sense. I do like them sweet and fruity. Once I saw Billboard and got prematurely excited because I thought it was from mead. No, it was honey ale. I need to try mead. It's been suggested to me many times because my palate is definitely way on the sweeter side. And people have said I would really enjoy mead, but I still haven't tried it myself. Bartender, chef, and sous chef were all depressed Spaniards. They explained that everyone drank because nothing is good in Spain ever. That's you know, it's crazy to me because Spain seemed like the most magical place when I was traveling. Trageding there. I think I just gave away the game, chat. Numberless Dread, thank you so much for subscribing for 63 months. That's a long ass time. Yeah, I was streaming tonight. Am streaming tonight. We'll be streaming for another 20 minutes at least. But yeah, glad you made it regardless. Don't worry, you didn't miss anything. We have not played a single game tonight. We've just been talking about N64 games and everything else under the sun. It's been a really good conversation night. Just really, really solid. So it's one of those nights. I'm happy. Also, gonna remind y'all, folks coming in, folks going out. Next week, lots of streams. I am going to be able to stream every night next week except tomorrow, Sunday, and maybe Tuesday. Tuesday is a maybe. But Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'm on. And we're going to be starting Monkey Island 2 LeChuck's Revenge on Monday. I'm going to make the most of this opportunity that I have. And we're going to sell these fine leather jackets. Took having lime juice and vodka together, finally enjoying alcohol, having something more sour as an experience with neat. That is neat. Yeah, that is. Most common drink when I worked at Clyde's Prime Rib was the Tic Tac. Literally a pile of sugar. Most people love sugar shit. I think it depends on where you go. Couldn't just lodge your opinion with high explosives. Good. I am glad to hear that. I would genuinely hate myself if I was any kind of poor influence on you in this particular realm. Bartenders is a bougie variety, getting fucking stupid aperitifs. They're super bitter because we're snobby and bored. I've always been under the impression that like the really hardcore drinkers prefer like more complex tastes, and it's kind of like the lighter weekend drinkers who go in for like the family restaurant like super sweetened cocktails. But I'm definitely in the latter category. Part of that is my wife's influence. She loves sweet liquors. When we go to fancy restaurants, at the beginning of the meal, my wife asks for the dessert menu because she orders her drink off of the dessert menu. And I don't blame her because it's really good. I definitely tend towards the sweeter as well. See you in a few weeks, Monkey Island. Hopefully LeChuck's Revenge. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna, since I've been wasting all kinds of time tonight. How long do we suppose LeChuck's Revenge is? How long to beat has LeChuck's Revenge at 8 hours on the outside? If that holds, we will finish LeChuck's Revenge next week. Even if I can't stream Tuesday, I will play LeChuck's Revenge Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, which is 3 nights, which is 9 hours, which should be enough to get through it. And I'm going to have chat's help because I'm particularly bad at that one. How long did I spend? Hang on. How long did I spend playing Monkey Island? Monkey Island, Secret Monkey Island only took 3 nights. Next Saturday, you spoiler person. So look, regardless of how LeChuck's Revenge goes, Friday I will do a Friday feature. We might do Curator Connect again. We're not going to start another Odyssey yet. I have plans. I'm thinking things for our next Odyssey. So it could be Curator Connect again. It could be a variety night. It could be something else. And then next Saturday will be Power Hours again. I like doing Power Hours on Saturday. It's a good night for it. But yeah, the other nights of the week will be Monkey Island. I own Oblivion Remastered and Fallout 76. How did that happen? It's like you miss me or something. Don't sell yourself short, Hildy. It's always a pleasure to have you here. TurboGrafx Odyssey, seriously what I'm leaning towards. Like, I would, the smart money is on a TurboGrafx Odyssey being next. The thing is, I want to do a Virtual Boy Odyssey before we do that. I want to put the Virtual Boy in the ground before we start our next real Odyssey. And I want to make sure that Nintendo Power is done and dusted with the Virtual Boy before I do my Odyssey. So, give it to me. Give it to me! If we do TurboGrafx, we need to do both Silent Debuggers and the PT Boat game my bro had. Bro, if we do TurboGrafx, that means everything. That means nothing gets skipped. That's what we did with the Master System. We do every single game. No exceptions. Silent Debuggers is cool. Well, we'll see one day. We'll get to it. That also means the TurboGrafx 16 CD. I mean, as long as I can emulate it, it's fair game. Also need to do a Sega CD Odyssey. Someday I swear to God I'm gonna get you to play Snatcher. Okay, Snatcher. I know Snatcher. I was there for the Slow Beef screenshot Let's Play of Snatcher that kind of helped launch the entire Let's Play genre. And it was a very impactful experience. So I know Snatcher. I certainly wouldn't be against playing it someday, but yeah, it's not going to be new to me. I have experienced that game extremely vicariously. Snatcher lives in Kojima's brain forever. Looking forward to the TurboGrafx Odyssey. The game Browning on there is a treat. Potful Mail is also very good. The working designs, localizations, and moments where it's H. I love that. I love being able to comment on localizations. It's kind of my thing. To have to play, I'd recommend the Sega CD version. Get some well-needed censorship for. TurboGrafx main flaw was its ridiculous price. A lot of the consoles at the time were priced in nuts. I remember the Jaguar. I can't say I've seen a Jaguar in person, but I saw a box for one on a shelf. And it was seriously like $1,000 in like 1990s money. It like cost as much as a used car. I actually follow streamers currently doing a Jaguar Odyssey. That's cool. That's really cool. Do you mean? Yes, I mean Jaguar. I'm just being a jackass about it, Hildy. I'm just being a douche about it. I don't mean ages in antiquity. In antiquate, I mean ages in, we don't say that anymore. Oh my. Oh my. Go left field and play SD Snatcher. That's a thought. That's a thought. I mean, we could certainly do a Snatcher series. Because it's what? Snatcher, SD Snatcher, Police Knots? Did Slowbeef finish their fan translation of Police Knots? Because I know that was a thing that they were doing ages ago. But I think I stopped keeping up with it around that time. So far he's batting about 50%. He's giving his game a full hour. Woof. He did. Okay. It has been fully translated. Okay. That's cool. That's cool. So yeah, I mean, something we could do, chat. Something else we could throw on the grand pile of initiatives I've started. I genuinely don't know what I'd do with myself, chat, if I actually finished all the things I've started. I think that might be one of the big things that keeps me streaming and will keep me streaming unto eternity, is that I will never finish all of the series I have started. Police Knots is even more questionable. It was intense on the yikes moments. Okay, we may have to talk about that in the future, because I remember a while back we streamed another Slow Beef adjacent game, Dead of the Brain, and we did one full night of that, and it was really fun, but I stopped there because in the back half of that game there was some really sketchy shit that I didn't feel comfortable putting in front of y'all. So yeah, that is something we need to be aware of. Dead of the Brain. It was a old school like anime adventure game with some pretty gnarly gore in it. Yeah. Some pretty uncomfortable gore. Yeah. PC Engine moment. Yeah, totally. Ooh, Japanese PC games got away with this. They certainly did. It's like tabletop gamers finishing painting all their minis. Exactly, yeah. I can't afford to do that. I'm getting too much mileage out of having all these loose ends. But yeah. There's no shortage of things that we should do on this channel, chat. That's the thing. Alright, you know what? You know what? I gotta be honest with you. We managed to churn the page, but we didn't actually manage to start the next page. So I think what I'm gonna do, I know Wave Race, right? I think I do it, play the Super Picross and do a Just Chatting stream. No, we've already done the Just Chatting stream. That's what happened. I'm accepting that I'm just gonna have to call it here. Before I'm inclined to even start talking about like Pilot Wings or something, I think we're just gonna leave this here. And yeah, Manic knows. I'm tired. I've been working 4 days straight, which doesn't sound like a lot until you remember that I work at a grocery store and I lift a whole bunch of heavy shit. And I've also been drinking a lot tonight. So I think I did good though, because I started at the official 9 o'clock hour and I made it pretty much to the end of stream. So nothing wrong with that, I think. There's a reason why those jobs tend to be part-time. Yeah, no, I get it now. Like I worked hard. I worked hard to get converted to full-time, and I'm very happy that I was for a litany of reasons. But holy shit, it's hard. It is really hard. Did Amazon Fresh? I can never go. So someday, I don't like to talk too much about my current workplace, but I got some stuff to tell y'all when I do move on from this job. It's been very interesting, especially on the scheduling side. So all I will say right now is I am extremely fortunate right now to be full-time. And I'm very, very happy about that. So yeah. But oh boy, yeah. I got some stories to tell y'all. No, it's true. Shit is dire out there. It really is on a lot of levels. I still have a whole bunch of job search stories that I need to tell y'all that I'm not comfortable telling right now because there's still sore spots for me. Once I do finally land something more towards a career, oh my god, I got so much stuff to tell y'all. We're gonna do a Just Chatting stream when I finally land a new proper job. we're gonna do a just chatting stream where I fill you in on everything that's been going on for the past year. On some level, chat, I'm sorry I haven't kept you abreast of I'm sorry I haven't kept you abreast of what's going on in my job search. It's just, I won't lie, it's been too painful to share. It is a miserable experience. And I'm sure y'all picked up on some of that over the last couple of months when, like, streams kind of dipped off for a while, and yeah. I've got some fucking stories. Dude, 7-Eleven won't even call it nonsense. Yeah. We finally spilled the beans on one famous RPG guy. I might. We'll see. Kind of depends on where I end up. At 3 degrees, one's a master's. Yeah. Oh, I have stories, chat. I have stories. But yeah, there's we'll get there. That's what I keep telling myself. That's the notion that keeps me going. We'll get there. I will get my career back on track at some point. I'll get all these stories out to y'all. There are I say this with no foundation to it, no backing. I only say this because it's a platitude that keeps me motivated. There are better days ahead somewhere. And that's what I keep striving towards. As long as I can. Hildy, agree to disagree. I'm determined here. Constantly thinking idly about just drawing furry porn for commissions. Why not, dude? Why not, dude? Oh, I know y'all don't want to naysay and such, but I mean, what else can I do? I'm not gonna curl up into a ball and die, you know? If I don't have my optimism, I don't have anything, really. It's what keeps me going. So I'm gonna be an optimist. So yeah. That's just how I choose to handle this. So you can feed off of that if you want. You can disagree if you want, but that's where I'm at. But yeah. Old world was shit in a different way. Yeah, kind of thing, isn't it? Yeah, you did make a good point there, Hildy. You do. It is a new order now, so we'll see. Anyway, before I get too navel-gazy with this, okay, so schedule reminder. There's no stream tomorrow night. I traditionally don't stream on Sundays, but I've also got plans tomorrow, so there is no chance of a stream tomorrow night. Monday, though. Monday, we come back strong with the start of Monkey Island 2 LeChuck's Revenge. We might continue that on Tuesday. We'll definitely continue it on Wednesday and or Thursday. Next Friday, we'll do some kind of traditional Friday variety thing. And then the Power Hours, we'll be right back here, chat. We'll be right back here next Saturday. And we'll see what we can do. Being on Wednesday, your next day off, sounds good. Sounds good to me. So let me give y'all a raid. Let me send y'all off to someone. I can, yes. Wow, lots of people up tonight. Lots of people up tonight. Oh, Bassy is playing Super Mario Galaxy 2. Probably not for much longer, but let's get while the getting's good, shall we? It's topical. It relates, chat. So, anyway, thank you all so much for coming out tonight. Thank you for joining me for a proper Saturday stream. I'm glad many of you were able to join me from the proper 9 o'clock hour and hang out and just talk. That's all we really did tonight, and that's all we needed to do. Like, the power hours are often a good excuse for me to just talk and brain dump and vibe and have a good time with y'all. And that's, I think, in a lot of ways, exactly what I needed tonight. It was a real good time. Hopefully you agree. Hopefully you had a good time, and hopefully I will see you on Monday for the start of more Monkey Island, specifically LeChuck's Revenge. But until then, as always, y'all take care. Bye, everybody.